Opa! Welcome everybody to Stavvy's World. Call 904-800-STAV. Leave a message. We'll answer all your problems. I'm very happy to have in the studio today Paris, Sashay. Thanks for coming, bud.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yeah, we've known each other since, like, we were doing open mics in DC probably like literally 10 years ago, which is so fucked up.
Yeah.
It's so fucked up.
Whole years.
And like maybe more, but let's not do the math. Let's just cut it off at 10.
10's a good number.
10's a nice round number. Yeah. I literally remember the first time, because I think I remember because it was such a funny open mic. I remember where we I don't know if you even remember this, but it was Tabak. Remember Tabak?
Oh, yeah.
Remember Rollo's room?
Rollo?
Yeah, Rollo was running it. Uh-huh. And it was fucking hilarious. Because I used to I would do any room possible. And it was like a purely black stand-up room. And I remember just being there.
Absolutely.
And it was just like Rollo was just, who's also hilarious. I should have asked Rollo to come. That would have been awesome. Rollo was just he was running the mic and he was just talking for like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it was like, people were just smoking hookah. And he was just, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, it was an Ethiopian bar.
But all black people.
Yeah, it was all black people. It was all black people and me. And I remember you because you were cool. Because like I didn't know anyone there except Rollo a little bit. And I didn't know you were a comic, and I just thought you were like a cool audience member because you were fucked up too. The first time I saw you, you were so fucked up,
wasted,
way out of control,
wasted.
Drunk, and I was like, this girl's pretty cool. She's laughing, she's got a good sense of humor, you know. And then you went up, and I was like, what the fuck? you were like drunk as shit, and I was like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
because it was so fun, and Rollo was, you know, it was a great. I just remember that it was a fun one.
It was a fun room. 10 years
great
ago.
Great room.
I would get drunk and have fun on stage.
Oh, it was so fun. And it was like, and when you're like, you know, I was literally like a little fat white kid with my business casual attire coming straight from work. I was wearing like fucking khaki pants with elastic waistbands. And I think people were shocked to see someone look like me and then be funny.
Yeah.
Like people were like, I could tell every time I would go on stage, people were just ready for me to bomb. And I would just, the easiest thing to do if you're in a black room, make fun of the host. And then you're
on board.
You're in. Just make fun of Rollo for how dark he is, and then everyone's like, oh, I didn't even know he knew to make fun of like that.
They trust you at that point.
Yeah. That was so. Rollo always bailed me out because I'd make fun of him and Russ, and it was always fun. But yeah, I just remember being like, you were just fucked up smoking hookah, and then you were like, fuck it, let's go do stand up.
That's what comedy used to be.
It used to be nice.
How drunk can you get and perform?
before we had to make it our livelihood.
Right.
But yeah, it's also fun because we've also known each other when we were just like regular ass. I feel like both of us have a pretty, you know, unique style now. But I remember this was before the cool glasses.
Yeah.
You know, no cool hair. You had like
figuring out who you were. I had hair.
You had hair.
I had hair.
You had hair. Maybe we're straight at the time. I don't remember.
Yeah, I was straight. Absolutely. Not gay one bit.
You definitely had like, I just haven't met the right guy hair.
That's exactly what it was. Every time you see me, it was a new one. It's like, still searching.
But then and then you were just gay and had the coolest glasses I've ever seen.
It came with the gay package. Like, you gay? Get your hair cut. Get some glasses. Let's replace things.
Damn, that's so funny that stand-up has been in, like, how many, like, life events stand-up has predated. It's so funny. You were doing stand-up before you were dating women is so funny.
Yeah. Crazy.
To do that, to make that transition, well, you're like, all right, I just found myself. Now it's time to do an open mic.
Yeah.
Like, you probably ate pussy and then had to go do a spot. You probably had to be like, well, that was really cool. That was huge for my life. Now I have to go fucking do a midnight spot at a bar in Adams Morgan.
At 1 o'clock in the morning, right? I can't be fully gay yet, babe. I'm not successful enough.
Fuck. So fucking funny. So awesome. Yeah, are you from DC originally?
I'm from DC.
Okay, nice.
From DC originally.
Hell yeah. So you were just, so you grew up there and then you just started getting drunk and going to open mics. And,
Well, in the beginning, I was still nervous.
Yeah.
So it's like the drunker you get, the better you can be yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
So whatever I was saying, I have no idea what I was talking about 10
course.
years ago.
No.
But it was good.
But it was fun.
And the liquor was good, so I know that.
Yeah.
It was fun times.
Did you have any do you have anybody who looked cool? Do you have any flamboyant style people in your like family, or like who'd you take after?
My mom. My mom is really fly.
Yeah.
She always was like,
cool mom.
You can be broke, but you need to be fly. I'm like, okay, you got a point, because you can trick people.
That's awesome.
No one knows how much money you have, but if you look fly, they're like, oh, she has some money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she used to take me window shopping.
That's awesome.
We're not going to buy anything, but
just know.
This is what you should do when you get money. It's like train and practice for fashion.
That's an important lesson.
Yeah, so my mom definitely. And my dad's Jamaican, so he's pretty fly
nice.
too.
Hell yeah. Was he around?
No, he's Jamaican. Nope, wasn't even around.
Jamaican dad doesn't feel... No, for the folks at home, I took a swing and it worked, but that could have ended bad.
Perfect question. Was he around? No, fist the description. Jamaican dad, not present. Okay.
That's fucking hilarious. So he was popping in and out?
Yeah, no, he was in jail.
Oh, shit.
But he was even fly in jail.
Of course. It's funny to watch those TikTok videos now where people are like making meals and makeup in jail.
It's crazy.
There's a lot you can do with a packet of ramen.
But the craziest thing is it's been that way, just was no cameras.
Yeah.
Like I had him send me a list of like things they can buy, because they really have things in there that you can spend a lot of money on.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like they had watches. I'm like, what?
Really?
Who needs a Rolex in jail?
You'd think you don't want to know what time it is.
3.
You think you'd want to like...
You're not coming home anytime soon.
What for what? What are you checking your watch for? They'll tell you when you need to be somewhere. You know when lunch is.
There's no time in here. Yeah, no. So they have real things. But now TikTok does show like...
Yeah.
Jail looks fun on TikTok.
It really does.
Like,
I saw a video where they're all doing backflips. they're all like teaching each other gymnastics, and it looks like camp. It looks kind of fun.
They having TikTok challenges like in jail. I don't want to go there.
I know there probably is like a fun version of jail, and then one that's just so bad. Like up until one level of jail, it's probably not that bad.
You think?
I think like. There's like low levels of jail, and then there's the ones that
low levels of jail.
You know what I mean? Where it's like you see them, they're all hanging out, just like people. They don't really have to be in their cells at all the time. Because like when you see like media about jail and shit, you just assume you're just locked in your cell forever.
Yeah,
and it's just you and some fucking guy. But there's other like my brother was really into this like reality show about how they would send people who weren't criminals into jail to like I don't even know for what purpose. I think to see if they were running the jails right. Like it was like a sting operation. It was like you were snitching both on the cops and the prisoners. You were a double snitch, which seems like an awful thing to do with your time. But hey, it was a very entertaining. It was a very entertaining show because you had people who were like, you know, hardos about like justice and like who thought like cops were good guys, and then who just wanted to help out and snitch on. You know,
cops in jail.
Snitch on people in jail, and then like found out, oh wow, this is a really fucked up system. You know what I mean? Like, and you have people who, and then you had people who like girls would go in there and like just cheat on their husbands. Like they would like get girlfriends. Yeah, they would just start dating people on like which wasn't allowed, and they would get kicked out. They would get seduced. It was awesome. But some of those jails, look, I don't want to go to jail. I would not. I would think I could actually. I think I could be okay.
You can find your vibe.
I think I could figure it out, but I don't want it. I don't want to. I'm too used to, you know, having every streaming service and ordering seamless, getting any kind of cuisine I want. But they didn't look as bad as what you like imagine.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be. So I don't know. Were you about to say something, Eldis?
Oh, I was gonna say I like those TikTok. Jail recipe videos.
They're
making those ramen burritos.
That looks like some shit you would just eat. Eldis has one of the worst palates of all time.
Have you ever tried to make one?
No, I haven't. They don't look that good to me, but I do still want to try one or make one. Just for the experience of making it, seeing what it really tastes like.
Some ramen and like Slim Jim casserole. Damn. Do you have any other siblings?
I'm the youngest child.
The youngest.
So I have an older sister, older brother on my mom's side, and
then 15.
5. Yeah, you know it. 5 on the Jamaican side. 5 that we know about. Yeah, I'm sure. I run into people all the time. I'm like, you could be my brother. He's not going to tell the truth.
Yeah, damn. Did you ever go to Jamaica? Like, are you connected?
I'm going this year. I have not.
Oh
ever
wow,
been.
That's fucking
I've never
sick.
Been. So I feel like that should be a fun time.
That will be fun. Do you talk to anyone on that side of the family or no?
I used to talk to them, but they're Jamaican. And it's like, sometimes you have to just be like, you know what? This isn't for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, a couple of them got cut off, but I know them.
No, yeah. You're aware of them. I mean, I feel the same way when I go to Greece and I'm just like, I don't need to put up with my family. I just want to go. It's a beautiful place. I could have an awesome vacation. Why am I bringing one of the most stressful things in the world, my family, into the mix? So good for you.
Thank you.
Get out there. Get out in Jamaica. Don't ask.
Don't even let anyone know.
Don't let anyone know. And thankfully in Greece, I don't think they know I'm successful yet. So no one has asked me for anything.
Okay.
But like,
because that's the problem.
For years, I was just, they were like, they would make fun of me for not. Why don't you go to school? Why don't you, you're in America, you're wasting. You're
American years.
Aren't you supposed to go, aren't immigrants supposed to go to America and get successful? Why don't you have a job? They would just fucking do all that shit. And I don't think they know that shit's been going good the last couple of years.
That's good.
And I plan on, I plan on keeping it that way, but there are some sacrifices you have to make. Like, I couldn't stay in a hotel because that would be a clear indication. So I just sleep on my cousin's floor. Literally, he put his childhood mattress on the floor and was like, "Here you go, bro." And I was like, "Oh," and I had back pain for 1 month after that. So I don't know what I'm gonna do this time. I'm gonna have to make something up. I'm gonna have to just admit I have some money, but not as much as I do have.
That is funny.
Yeah. Damn. So they were around all those siblings, or you have good relationships with them or anything like that?
So I met all the siblings on my dad's side when I turned 18.
Wow.
So we didn't know each other as kids. I knew they existed.
Yeah.
And then 18 came and we started hanging out. And my older sister.
Just as people.
Yeah, we're super close.
That's awesome. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
To get siblings late in life to just kind of
And good siblings?
Yeah. Wow, not a piece of shit in the mix, huh?
Not a piece of shit in the mix. Nope, not one bit.
That's huge.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. Do any of them have the accent?
They all do.
Really?
They actually all do.
That's fucking awesome.
They do. Now, when I go to Jamaica, I'm going to see what he can teach in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I have to act broke, too. It's I have nothing.
Of course. Yeah.
We're the same.
Yeah.
And in Jamaica, if you stay on a resort and you want to bring somebody that lives there, you have to pay for them to come on the resort.
Wow. They're just not allowed?
Not allowed.
It's literally a separate it's like a little fake country.
But I kind of like it because it's I can only pay for you.
Yeah.
Don't bring those other people. I have nothing. You have nothing. I have nothing.
Oh, that's smart. So
maybe works out.
Maybe it was even people with Jamaican family that instituted that rule. Mm-hmm. They're I can't have all my fucking cousins here embarrassing me in front of my fellow Americans. I can't have my fucking third world cousins doing laundry in the shower. I'm here to enjoy a Mai Tai and some calamari fritters. I've never been. I really want to go to Jamaica. I've never, because it's tough because I'm from Greece, so it's whenever you go on vacation, you feel just go there because it's so awesome.
Okay.
But how far is Jamaica? It's not that far from.
It's not. I'm gonna fly from New York. It's a couple hours. That's not too many.
That's pretty sick. Because the problem with Greece is it's fucking fully 10 hours away.
Yeah, no.
That's too much.
Yeah, that's far.
But if there's a little Caribbean, I do want to, because I'm a beach guy personally.
Okay.
I don't know about you. On vacations, I don't want a mountain. I'll go on a hike, but okay. I'm not camping. Absolutely not. I'm not trying to camp whatsoever.
Yeah, no, I like the beach, the sun.
Yeah.
It's relaxing.
Yeah. I got to get in there because, even LA's beaches are kind of bullshit. I got to try some Caribbean shit. Have you ever been to the Caribbean, Eldis?
No, I haven't. I really want to go, though.
No?
Yeah.
Damn. I was hoping. Oh, you know what? Oh, wait, I take that back. I went on a weird senior trip to Jamaica, actually. But it was a fucking weird resort, and it was all these kids. It was you remember do you guys have that where it's like senior week or whatever? And it would be like, usually you'd go to like Ocean City or like some.
You guys went to Jamaica. What school was this?
I don't know. Well, it was this weird thing where it was like, well, I went to, it was called Baltimore Polytechnic Institute, Poly.
Okay.
And it wasn't that many kids. It was like 20 of us went. So it was like available to everyone, but most people were like, no, we're not going to fucking Jamaica. And I don't know why we did it. It was fucking weird. We were just in a resort, like they wouldn't let us leave. You know, they were like, we can't trust, children in Jamaica.
But we brought them to Jamaica.
We brought them to Jamaica.
But we don't trust you.
We bought some of the worst weed of all time from a guy who worked there, who clearly was just ripping off,
That's what they say
teenagers. 100%. It was like the brownest. I don't even know that. It was weed. But we smoked weed with a math teacher. And then they had like a celebrity guest that was some guy who was on The Real World, but I had never heard of him. And this guy was just like trying to fuck underage high schoolers. It was one of the weirdest experiences I've ever had in my life.
Who put this trip together?
I really don't know. And then I was like, I just forgot to put sunscreen on. And I was just like, oh yeah, whatever. I don't need sunscreen. Like I'm Greek, I was trying to show off and prove that I was cooler than the other two white guys on the trip. Okay. You know what I mean? I tried to separate myself from the other white people because most of my class was black in Baltimore.
Right.
And so I was always like, yeah, I mean, I'm better than you guys. I'm cooler than you motherfuckers. And I got sun poisoning so bad that my fucking back just like. It was fucking horrible. It blistered and shit. I like passed out and like slept through like the best night ever. Everyone got pussy that night. The night that I passed out from sun poisoning. And not only did they all get pussy, but there was like one, like everyone kind of fucked someone that kind of matched with them. Like there was like a tall kid fucked a tall girl. There was like, and there was like a chubby girl that no one fucked. And I was like, that was me. That was supposed to be me.
It was being too cool.
I was showing off in the pool. And then it cost me pussy. Oh man. But yeah, so that's my only experience with Jamaica. But that could have been in like, New Jersey for all, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't you didn't feel we were so like sheltered and closed off that it was like, it didn't feel like anything foreign at all. But
that's hilarious.
Yeah, it was a pretty good time. They take you anywhere? You got any senior trips? You do any dumb shit as a child?
So I did a lot of dumb shit. So they put me out of school. So I went to a special ed school. So I didn't go on. I didn't. We had no field trips. We had nothing. You show up. That's it.
Damn. You got put out for just acting up, or?
I just was fighting a lot as a kid. Just disrupting the class. Just making jokes about the teacher. Everything you were not supposed to do, I did.
Nice. And they put you in special ed for that?
They put me in special ed because they said I needed special attention. So I was like the kid. I did all my work. I had good grades. Yeah. And then I would disturb the rest of the class. Right. And it's like, no, they're slow. Yeah. You have to leave because you're causing disruption. So they put me in special ed.
That's wild to be like, just put her there. Who cares? They're like, we don't want to deal with her, so just put her with kids that can't even read. Like, was everyone like mentally handicapped in your classes?
That's the crazy thing. When I got there, I was like, this is not even like they make it seem. Yeah. It's a little bit of everybody in here.
It was a little potpourri.
A little bit of everything in here.
Yeah, interesting. We got learning disabilities. We got Jamaican fathers. one of those two things.
Yeah, it was a little mix.
A little.
It was fun.
Yeah. What was your most memorable high school fight? Was there someone who really deserved it? Were you really happy to fuck somebody up? It's been enough time, I feel like. You know.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe the one I got put out for.
Okay.
Maybe the one I got put out for public school for.
What happened there?
I just think it came to a point where like you can ignore people, but sometimes you can't, and especially in high school. Of course. Then you have people around you, and it just exit on. So it's like I have to handle this. Yes. So it's like I wasn't going to do it, and then the teacher stopped us. And remember back in the day when they had the carts with the TVs on it? Sure. So the teacher rolled over my foot with the cart. With the TV teacher did to stop me from beating up the girl. So I'm like, now I have to whip your ass. My foot hurt. So I pushed the cart, I pushed the teacher, and then I beat her up. I was like, that's a good reason to get kicked out.
Yeah, I think at least you got your money's worth.
I definitely got my money's worth.
What was the argument about? Why was she fucking with you about?
Just girls being girls. Girls are silly.
Yeah.
And when girls are growing up, I feel like once everybody start having sex, and everybody start feeling themselves, it just be stupid shit.
Sure.
Just dumb.
Time to run your mouth.
Yeah, and I don't think she was smoking weed, and I was, which was why she was so bothered. But I was just let's just fight. Let's just see.
Let's just get this over with.
Let's just get this over with. If I win, you just never talk trash again.
Yeah.
And then I got kicked out.
And then you did win, but what was the cost? You had to go. You had to ride the short bus.
I rode the short bus.
You literally rode the short bus.
3 years. It was crazy. Because it was like, okay, you can ride the short bus. If nobody knows, it's fine. But if I didn't come outside, they would pull over, park it, and then call my mom, like, let her know we're outside. I'm like, I hear the bus.
Yeah.
Drive that off. My friends are outside. I can't get on this. Not today. I'll catch you later. I can't get on it right now.
Damn, that's so fucking wild.
Yeah, like year 2, I had them like drop me off in like this cut. So it was like
like you were cheating. You're like, nah, my wife will see us. Drop me off in the alley. I can't have people know I'm going to fucking special ed.
I would walk up this hill. They'd be like, oh, you just got off the bus? I'm like, yeah, the metro. Yeah. Just right there.
Damn, what the fuck? So what was it? So was it like a smaller school? Was it like a specialized school?
It was a private special ed school, which is crazy. You had to get accepted into it. Whoa. And the city had to pay for it.
Huh. Interesting. So they just sent kids that were like,
they didn't send everybody.
Either a problem or like, or just that's. I'm sorry. That's a bizarre concept of you had to apply to special ed. It's like how quickly can you color code these Legos? You had to take a test. How much information do you know about Yu-Gi-Oh? Right. Like how much fucking.
If you didn't pass
about
the test,
trains,
you couldn't go there.
Yeah. Can you tell us what year this train was made?
It was a special ed dog. It was a crazy experience.
Yeah, damn. So was it kids that were just had like, so it was all different types.
All different types
learning
of kids. So
disabilities.
Like the fullest special needs to just bad kids.
That seems crazy to put those two together.
I never understood. I'm like, who would do this? I'm here because I can't stop fighting. This kid is drooling. How is this going to help either one of us? This is not good for the kid.
Absolutely. And
you realize in special ed, those kids are actually stronger than normal people.
Oh wow!
That's the
gift. You try and fight them, and you fucking they could
beat the teachers. Like they try to restrain them, and it's like they show their full strength. You're like, you was just drooling. How'd you get this strong? It's crazy.
So it's all you got to do, just Jedi mind tricks to keep them calm.
Yeah. Once they lose it, that's it.
Once they know their power, it's over. They can't know that at all. Damn, that's fucking wild. And everyone was like in different classes, I'm assuming, or were you in the same? Okay, gotcha.
Well, they had different classes, but the school was like the size of an office building.
Yeah,
it really wasn't big.
So everybody was kind of like in the same areas and shit. Lunch everyone was at the same place.
Everybody in the same place. Just one little circle.
Damn.
Everybody's just in there.
Were there any special ed romances popping up?
I fell in love in special ed.
You fell in love in special ed? What a beautiful sentence.
I fell in love. I was like, maybe I'm supposed to be here. He's supposed to be here. It just seems like it works for us. We need each other to get through this process. And we stayed together like 2.5 years. It was
that's cute.
It was cool. And then he dropped out.
He dropped out.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to do it anymore.
Didn't want to stay in special. Too rigorous the curriculum. If you're dropping out of special ed, then maybe go work construction. Maybe school ain't for you.
It's so easy. Like, why don't you want to do it?
Damn, that's fucking the coloring worksheets were too much for him. I'm tired of watching Bob the Builder episodes. Fuck, that's so funny. Was he also there for like same bad kid shit or?
Yeah, he was there for bad kid shit.
Nice.
He was there for bad, like getting put out of school.
Yeah.
In and out of jail. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it really was a crazy mix. Like it was this one girl. She never talked ever.
Wow.
Just never.
Didn't say a word the whole time.
I sold her some weed like the second year. Her mom came to the school the next day and thanked me. She started talking. I'm like, weed is going to save the world. I've been trying to She was just too stressed.
Oh my God, that's fucking awesome. Just fucking
weed.
That's all. So, selling weed in special ed seems like the place, though.
The place.
That seems like you get.
You can make any price. They don't know. They just give you your money. This is a dime. Give me $50. Thank you. Joe,
oh man, yeah, easily gullible. They already love snacks to begin with.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
You'll never know they're high.
Imagines, yeah. Oh, he ate 8 Reese's and drank a gallon of chocolate milk. That's just what he usually has. The perfect cover. Oh, he couldn't figure out math today? Well, he never could anyway. Very smart. I sold a little weed at Poly. I sold a little weed there, but it was much more difficult. Everyone, everyone was watching because that was like Baltimore public schools. I don't know how DC was, but it was like we had like 2 good schools, and everything else was just fucking dog shit. Where it was like everyone's like everyone's fucking everybody up, and like the whole getting in trouble, fighting all the time. And we had a little bit of that, but it wasn't. The trick that I always used to pull, though, because we had a bunch of different types of kids, was we had like Hot Topic kids.
Okay.
It was like mostly black kids, and there was like a lot of Greek kids because from my neighborhood went there too, and then you had like a little bit of like that Baltimore white trash. Okay. That was maybe like 5% of the population. Okay. And at that era, we're about the same age, I think. I'm 34. 31. So yeah, we're in there. Okay. I don't know if you caught it was the jersey, the baggy jerseys and the jeans that were like big as fuck. Yeah. So you could hide a nice amount of weed in your big jeans. and then also if you weren't like a throwback jersey and big jeans kid, the Baltimore white trash kids, they were like Slipknot, Hot Topic kids, and they had the even bigger pants with like huge pockets. And there was literally like a kid that I would just give some money to sneak like a scale and weed into the school because his pockets, he was fat as shit, and his jeans were gigantic. So there's some fun. It wasn't as good as special ed, but I made a nice little. My senior year I sold weed, and it was I don't know if you felt this way, but I thought going into college I was like, I never kept track of it. Obviously I'm a bad businessman, but I was making a lot of money, and it was like but I would just, you're in high school and I'm just like, let me just get food. You have your first little taste of independence. I had a car that year. And like going, and I like sold.
You was making money.
I sold weed for like a year thinking like, oh, I'm going to have like a few G's at least going into college. And I just never counted it. And I just like, smoked some of my own weed, bought whatever the fuck I wanted, and then like going into college, I had $400 left. I was like, what the fuck? I've been selling weed for a year, and I have $400 because I ate and smoked my way out of it. I was getting like Chinese. It wasn't anything good. I bought a couple big jeans and a couple. I had a Lamar Odom Clippers. I had a couple throwbacks. But man, it was not enough. It wasn't enough for, selling weed for a year.
Whew, that's funny.
Yeah.
Weed wasn't that expensive back then though, right?
It was,
compared to now?
Sure. Yeah, back then it was like what, like a $35 for an eighth felt like the standard going rate. Now I feel like it's at least 50, maybe 60. Some people, What's up, Eldis?
I think 40 is pretty standard. Do you remember when you sold weed in high school and you tried to put me on?
I do.
You were on the phone trying to talk me into fronting me like fucking half an hour. You're like, yeah, dude, you could just.
I was looking out for you, man.
I'd give you an ounce. You could just pay me back $500 after you just sell me back the profits.
I was trying to put you on, dude.
I was like, getting into a weed debt with Stav doesn't seem like a good idea.
That's funny.
I was being a good guy. I was being a fucking good guy, and you spit in my face. You would have been selling weed in the county, dude. You had nothing to worry about. I was the one taking the risks. I was the one getting it from my sketchiest fucking supplier.
was trying to build a team.
I really was. You abandoned me, and then my friend, I won't say his name, but another one of my friends on the football team, he abandoned me. It was supposed to be me and him together, and he just was like, I can't do it. But then I also became the bitch because like one of my friends like saw a kid I knew got into like either a car accident or he had some kind of like medical. What are you doing? You just opening up for? Okay. He had some kind of like medical malpractice suit that he got like a ton of money off of, and his way of growing his investment was like, oh great, I'm gonna start selling cocaine. And he tried to get me to sell coke, and I was like, if I go to this meeting, I'm getting robbed. I was like, I just could feel it in my bones. I was like, they know I have a ton of money. They know I'm like a fun guy, like, but I know that this fucking guy is 100% going to rob me.
You felt it.
Oh, I could tell. Another time, I started selling because one of my friends, his brother was like he sold a lot. He was moving a lot of shit, and I would get it straight from my friend. And then one time, and I didn't realize that he was giving me great prices because he didn't know what the fuck he was doing either. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, all right. I was like, dude, let me talk to your brother directly. And like, that guy was like, what the fuck? Like, he started charging me like real. I literally pulled up. I met this guy in a Modell's parking lot. No, not Modell's. What was the Foreman Mills? Remember Foreman Mills, Eldis? No? No. Anyway, whatever. I met him in a Foreman Mills parking lot. It was like just kind of like a shittier. It was like a local Marshalls kind of thing, like just not like an off-brand kind of Marshall situation. And I just pull up in my mother's gold minivan, and it's like, and my friend was like, he was like a pretty boy football player, like, whatever, like nothing to be scared of. And I think his dad was maybe not Jamaican, but a similar guy to your dad. And so this was like his criminal older brother. And dude, I pulled up and this guy, like, he was cool, but he came with a friend who was like, just fucking, this kid was jacked. He was just fucking like mean mugging me. Like that guy, I could tell if I was not my friend's friend, 100% that guy wanted to rob me. He was like, why aren't we just taking his money? Like, I know they left that conversation and the guy was like, why did you even give him the weed? We could have taken $1,000 for free. And the guy was probably like, I know, but I told my brother I would help his friend.
That is how it works.
Yeah,
That's funny.
Yeah.
You should have just robbed him.
Yeah, dude.
No, he's a good guy.
I would have done absolutely nothing. I would be like, here you go, sir. I've never seen you guys. Would you like the keys to my mother's car? I'll walk home to East Baltimore from here, fully across town. Yeah, selling weed in high school really was the way to go, but it's a great.
It's funny.
It's a shame that most kids don't have that now because it's so easy to get weed.
It's so easy.
They took a form of like young entrepreneurship away from us by selling weed everywhere. Did you come out with a little profit, or were you also like eating your profits and smoking your profits like I was?
No, I had a little profit. I even like told my cousin because he was selling weed. I even used to tell him to come to the school.
Yeah. Hey, there's plenty around here, pal.
Just listen, we're gonna get all the money. It was so much. Like I was selling dimes for $40. They had no idea.
That's fucking awesome. That's awesome.
They would trade me. It was one guy. He would bring me cameras for weed.
How did he get the cameras?
He was stealing them. That's what I told you. Don't let the special ed kids fool you. He was stealing electronics. I came to school next day. They was like, we're missing 2 cameras. I'm like,
he stole from the school.
He stole it from the school. And he gave it to me on the special ed bus in the afternoon. I said, they are tricking us about special ed.
Yeah. I mean, we had a friend who worked as a teacher in special ed in high school, and this I don't think it was I think it was just like special needs kids who were like very, very like we know what I'm trying.
The ones that we
you know. Let's just say classic. Let's just say just right down the middle, exactly who you're thinking of. And he said those kids were so horny. Horny, like because in high school, and they would just catch like two of them going at it constantly.
I couldn't imagine
they were just like, you know, like if the hormones are going crazy and you just have no like, you don't catch socialization. You know what I mean? You're not big on the, you know, societal etiquette. That's like, he was talking about literally having like hose kids down and shit like that. Like they broke these kids up with a hose one time. He had to like,
they just couldn't stop.
He had to like restrain a kid who was beating off. He had to like hold him while the kid's dick was hard.
Yeah.
He went on to have a storied career at Enterprise Rental Car after that. So
yeah, that is classic. That's classic special ed. Absolutely.
Damn. But you graduated? You didn't drop out like your special ed boyfriend?
No, I graduated. I'm like, this is kind of easy.
Yeah.
Just gotta come. I still had a good life.
Yeah.
I still talk to older guys, and I would have them drop me off at school, and I'm like, I work here. It was an office building with a nice blouse on. I get in the building and I put on a t-shirt. They have no idea. No one knows. It's a secret.
That's fucking hilarious. That's so funny. Oh man, was that your thing? You were into older guys when you were in high school or whatever?
Yeah. I feel like older guys, they knew more and they had more money.
Yeah. That's
I can't
true.
date you. We have the same amount of money. Where's your dad? I need help.
Yeah, probably had nothing to do with your absentee father.
No.
If I had to guess.
Absolutely not. Not that guy.
Older guys, dreadlocks. That's yeah. That always was. I remember being like, because that, I mean, half of the girls you grew up with just are out of the gate dating older guys, and you're just like, come on. I remember being like a fat nerd and being like, I can't even compete with the other kids my age. Now some guy with a fucking cool car. I fully understood. I was like, yeah, I get it. He's driving her around. He's buying her booze. You're 17. I'm like, I have my mom's fucking minivan. Of course she's gonna fuck that guy and not me.
Absolutely.
I was so pissed. I was so pissed off. But, you know, what are you going to do? But then also it's like the guys that are, imagine being that guy, because it's like, it's one thing to date like, you know, girls 10 years younger than you, but it's like a different thing to be like, yeah, I'm dating a 16-year-old in special ed.
That's why they didn't know. That's why they didn't let them tell that I was a grown businesswoman.
A teacher's aide helping underprivileged handicapped children, not selling them weed in exchange for some fucking Toshiba laptops they took from the computer lab.
He was good at it. He had a new camera every week, I swear. Like, you keep this coming in, I'll keep the weed coming in. Let's do it.
That's awesome. You never broke any real laws in high school, did you, Eldis?
Fuck. No,
I
suck.
Fucking nerd.
I was a nerd.
Fucking nerd.
I'm like, damn, I wish I was in special ed. That's fucking awesome. I could have made some money and got some pussy.
You definitely could have. You could have got. It's hoes in special ed too. Don't let them fool. They everywhere. Absolutely.
These are great lessons, guys. For our younger listeners, if you're struggling, fight until they put you in special ed. If you don't make friends in regular school, be violent. Be violent, and then maybe you'll get lucky.
Just maybe. Hilarious.
Damn, that's so fucking funny. And then I'm guessing you didn't go to college after that, or did you?
I went to school for 2 years.
Okay, all right.
I went to college for 2 years, and I was like,
yeah,
this isn't for me.
This isn't as fun as fucking high school.
No, it wasn't.
What were you studying?
Mass communications.
Okay, so just kind of
still in the same field. Yeah,
doing some shit. Yeah, I had to like lie to myself because my parents wanted me to be like, you know, it's that immigrant shit of like they wanted me to be like a lawyer or like, you know, just have a real job. So I had to like, I was a political science and I did like a media like minor. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was the same shit. The only shit I cared about was just like, you know, I probably if I had it all over, I probably would have went to like either film school or did some kind of writing program or just majored in that kind of shit. But yeah. It's. Did you have any inkling of what you wanted to do, or were you just kind of like floating through life.
I did
fucking
it
old
because my
guys.
mom wanted me to go to
weed.
school, so I was just like, I'll go to school. And
Yeah.
I was like, So when I left, I was like, okay, I have to figure something out.
Yeah.
Because let them tell it, I'm a failure.
Yeah.
Let me tell it, I just didn't want to waste any more time.
Of course.
But I was always the class clown, so I felt like comedy is just kind of got to that point.
Sure.
But
were your older siblings from your mom's side specifically? Were they doing good? Like, did you why did your mom want? Did they all go to school?
No.
So your mom was kind of like.
I was the first one that went to school and the first one that dropped out.
Okay. Yeah.
So I set the tone.
Yeah. So your mom was basically. She was like. It was like trying to sneak in being a good mom at the end. Like, she was procrastinating. She's like, all right, if I can get one in school.
Just one. That was her thing. If I can do it one time, I did my job.
Yeah.
So I went, made her happy, and then left.
Yeah, I did.
Like, okay.
I mean, truly, that's the only reason I went to school, too. It was like, I didn't even technically graduate, but they let me walk. And once they let me walk, because I had like 6 credits left, I just wanted my mom to get that picture. I just needed to make my language credits up. I was like, I'm good. Fuck it. So what were you doing? What were you up to, like, when you're starting? When we met, when you're starting open mics, what were you up to? Because you're wearing some business attire.
Yeah, I was doing temp agency jobs.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, just to bring the money in.
Classic.
And I was dating guys, and they actually were paying for things.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So it was like part time.
Now let me ask you. That must have been a rude awakening when you switched teams.
Oh God.
Because now it feels like you got to pay for shit. You know?
Sometimes. But if I miss anything about men, it's not. I never paid for anything. When I became gay, I'm like, this shit costs. I never paid a bill. What is this?
Yeah. Damn, that's brutal. How do you has it been that way where it's like now you're paying or you splitting? What's the move?
In the beginning, I was paying.
Gotcha.
Then I had my girlfriend for 4 years. I was paying.
Gotcha.
Once I became single, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Women, you're still gonna pay. If you ask me, my thing is if you ask me, you pay.
Sure.
So then I just purposely don't ask. Because you should pay.
Right.
So we can have the whole conversation, but when it comes to the date, I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah.
I want you to.
What kind of girls do you go for? Are you going for like more feminine? Is that part of the problem?
Only feminine.
So I see.
Yeah, only you have to be feminine.
Yeah. So you're kind of the lesbian version of a fuckboy then, if you're not trying to pay.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Found it out this year. Very sad. Just learned these things. I was like, you know what? That checks off.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Because if you're dating like real feminine girls, I get why they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I want her to pay the bills or pay at least the restaurant.
If I want to really pursue you, I'll pay the date. But it's like dating back then and dating now. I feel like social media has kind of ruined dating. Yeah. Everybody just wants to go to these places. They don't even eat the food. They just want to get it. And it's like, I took this one girl on a date. And we went out to this very expensive restaurant by the water. Because this is what she wanted. She gets shrimp fried rice. Okay. And then she tells them to add double crab meat. Now,
not one,
but and the shrimp fried rice already said market price. So I'm like, I don't know this market. I don't know how much that is.
You can't do double adds to market price.
She did double to market price.
You cannot.
So I'm like, if I'm paying for this, I need you to eat every bit of everything. And like, I'm a mom at this point. Eat your She wasted it. She ate half of it. I'm like, so are you going to take it home? Yeah. No. No.
The crab meat?
So what are you going to do with it?
What did we do the double for? You could have had single.
That's the last bill I paid. No more. If I pay the bill, I need you to eat everything.
I see. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I'm just on them. Luckily I'm making a little money, and I'm also just like, I'm not making a girl pay personally, but I like where your head's at. You know, fuck it.
If you're pursuing her, pay. Sure.
But if you're just trying to get sucked off here and there.
No, yeah. Come on, baby, let's get this to go.
Yeah, that's your first mistake is restaurant by the water. You fucked up. I could tell you're new to dating women.
Yes. That's what I let her pick it. That's where I went wrong. I didn't check the menu. I said, you find it, you pick it. But I didn't think she would double up on market price.
Of course. No, that's...
We didn't even have sex. What are you doing
That's
this
unheard
for?
of. That's pissing me off. I'm getting mad.
They order drinks. It's like, okay, let's get drinks. Then they order shots. So it turns into a club.
Too much.
And it's like, what?
Yeah.
And what if I'm still single? Why am I doing this?
Yeah. No, you need to settle down with a sober woman, it sounds like. Someone couple ginger ales. Instead of
woman on a diet. I'm looking for a woman on a diet.
So you're trying to be single for a while? Because you were in a relationship for a while. You just said, what, 4 years?
4 years.
Yeah.
That's 4 gay years. So, like, that's like 12
that accelerates,
straight years. Yeah.
Because lesbians, like, move in together after a month.
2 days. No, 2 days. A month is marriage. 2 days you move in. Because it's like, it's 2 women. So it's like a friendship.
Right.
And then lovers at the same time. And then all of a sudden you never want to be apart. And it's like, ugh.
Right. It seems intense. And it seems like it's not a lot of, there's not a lot of like just random hooking up going on in the lesbian community.
See, and that's where I come in. I like to change the narrative.
Good for you. Breaking the glass ceiling.
Absolutely.
It's not just men that can treat women poorly.
No.
It's also women with nice glasses and a nice fade.
You knew what you was getting into when you see me, baby.
That is true. It is their fault.
It's their fault. Come on now.
You don't look. Yeah, you look like you might just fucking go. It's true. You got enough rhinestones.
Hey.
On your outfits.
Listen. You know what you signed up for.
Yeah. I do like. Here's another thing I'd want to ask you about, because I also love. We've been on so many shows. I feel like comics that you came up with bits. Mm-hmm. So I always want to, because you have that great bit about when you bought your first dildo, your first strap on. And I want to, what's the etiquette on buying on size, right? Because it's like, everyone sure says, oh, if I had a dick, it'd be huge. But I think that's kind of laughable. Mm-hmm. I think everyone kind of is like, that's not true. Some people would have a little dick. How do it just feels like to me that's a little lesbian hubris to think that you automatically get a huge dick as someone who was assigned my dick, and I can't really do much about it. Sure, I'd like it, but So what do you go with dick size wise? Do you think?
That's why I feel like, because men can't pick, I feel like if we're gonna be able to pick, we should be able to pick in the large community.
I see.
I don't want to get a little dick. Because guys born with little dicks, they didn't pick that. They're not the happiest.
Yeah.
Why would I buy
they have to get really good at stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
They have to
figure out who you are as a person.
Get a personality. Sure. I see. It's just kind of the similar thing with the crab fried rice. Yeah. If you're gonna spend your money, you're gonna get your money's worth.
I want my money's worth. So I went large. I went over to the 9.5 size.
Did it feel right?
It did. It did feel right. I'll tell you why. Because I later ended up buying a smaller dick. Mm-hmm. I met this girl, and she was just like, I'm not into big dicks. And I was like, okay, well, then you pick the size.
Is she bi?
This woman?
Yeah.
I think she was bi, actually.
Yeah. That checks out.
And I ended up buying it, and it was when I bought it, I was like, this is just wrong.
You felt it? Demoralized buying a little dick?
This is unnecessary.
Welcome to my world, sister. I'm glad you felt it for at least one moment.
I was carrying it to the register like this. What is the
purpose? That's fucking hilarious.
And I used it, and I'm like, it made my legs hurt.
Yeah. Oh, it had to do a little too much work.
It was too small.
You had to really get in
there.
Too
long for this. I'm like, see, men go through a lot. I had to try to find an angle without hurting myself.
That's right. Thank you.
I'm stepping backwards on the step on the chair just for extra height.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No. Yeah. I threw it away instantly. I said, "This is not for me."
Yeah. Many can't, walk a mile in my shoes. You know what though? But I like that. You have to do it at least once.
Yes.
I think we should pass a law. Every lesbian, now you don't have to stay with a little dick, but you have
to try it.
You have to try it and just know what we go through.
I think it makes you respect men more. Yeah. Absolutely. It had me walking around looking at guys like, he probably has it hard.
Yeah, that's beautiful. The little dick community. That's big. That's big for the little dick community. Do you have like a whole? Is there like a? I talked to somebody at a show. she had like just an audience member. She said she carried around like a bunch of dildos and like a DeWalt toolkit.
Oh, wow.
Like it was like she had just like I don't know, like 10 or whatever. I don't know what's
a major selection.
Yeah, how does it work? Do you have is it like an armory like at the Bat Cave where you go in and you see all the weapons and shit he's ass on the walls?
Well, when I buy them, I buy a new one for each girl.
Oh, that's
and
romantic.
I like to leave it with her.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because I feel like if women could keep men dicks, they would be happier.
Yeah,
that's a big problem because they don't know what he's doing and he has his dick. That's so much stress.
That's a good.
So I'm like, here, keep this dick.
That's really nice.
Buy a new one, but
that's really nice of you.
Yeah,
that's true too. That's true too because that must feel weird. Like we actually had this conversation with a friend who said he uses the same vibrator. He's used the same vibrator on multiple women. And to me, that seems off. To me,
why would you?
He has like a house vibrator that he used with like different girls he was dating.
And he would put a condom on it, which is even weirder.
That's so weird.
Yeah. That's the weirdest part.
Yeah.
To me, it's like, the only way you can get away with that is if you act like you won it in a raffle. And you know what I mean? If you're like, look, I don't usually have a vibrator around, but I was at bingo, I was at an LGBTQ bingo, and the prize was a vibrator, so why don't we use it? You can't be like, all right, I'm a straight man who just has a vibrator that I use on every woman. It's got to be fresh for me personally.
Condom on it?
That's weird, right?
Yeah, I never heard that strange.
That's like what a sex worker would do. Like he fucks the way like somebody paid to fuck would. You know, like if he was a male prostitute, he would have a vibrator that he put a condom on and used on old ladies. That's while he fucked them. It's just bizarre, but he's got a little bit of that in him. He's got a little like freak in him that I think is dying to get out.
I wanted to talk to the women.
Yeah.
Because I'm just trying to imagine a vibrator and a condom, and it's just like they're not saying anything.
Yeah.
No questions?
It sounds like no one ever did. But it's also the kind of thing where, like, once you're in there, like, it's like, this is kind of weird, but I'm in the moment.
I'm in the moment.
I gotta fuck.
It probably would feel good to get a vibrator on my clit.
Maybe his foreplay is crazy.
Yeah,
he probably get him already in the mood and it's like no questions.
Sure. That's the only way you can really go about it. Or the opposite, maybe you're doing such a bad job that they're like, yeah, just bring a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Put a condom on it, fine. I need the bust.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah. I must bust. Let's see here. Okay. Well, what do you say we do some fucking questions here, LD? Why don't we? I think we've gotten. I didn't need. This is beautiful because I had no idea about the special ed thing, and that was one of the funnest we really dove into special ed in a fun way. But we have we're gonna take some questions here from the audience. They've already called in, and I think they could really use. It's nice to have your perspective here.
Let's do it.
So folks at home, 904-800-STAV. Call in if you have questions, and we will answer them for you. Eldis, hit us with the first one, babe.
Hey, Stav. I had a quick question, maybe more of a piece of advice here. I have, up until this point in my life, maintained a near 100% perfect record for going down on every woman that I've had sex with, except for one, obviously. It was backseat of a car, so it just wasn't really conducive to pussy eating. Question is, should I go and attempt to see this woman again for one more chance at sex, as well as an opportunity to go down on her and maintain my record? Or do I swallow my pride and just accept that you can't eat every pussy you meet? Anyways, appreciate it. Figured you'd be the man to ask for this one. So I will, take whatever advice you have for me.
Thanks for calling in. Yeah, this is the kind of show this is, Paris. And I want to say thanks for calling in. It means a lot that you would trust me with something like this. First of all, don't make excuses, okay? You could have eaten pussy in that car. You could have. You could have given it a couple swipes minimum to maintain the right. Cal Ripken had the most games played ever. He had a couple games where he played one inning and then they pulled him, and it still counted as a game played. You could have eaten just a little pussy to keep the record alive. So you fucked up there. But I think you owe it to yourself to give it a shot. I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to eat this woman's pussy. I mean, unless things have gone very bad with you guys. Like, is this years later? That'd be a little weird. But if this is somebody you kind of saw one time, you guys hooked up in a car, clearly there was some chemistry, maybe she'd like to be fucked indoors for a change, She might get something out of this, too. You get to eat her pussy. She gets to be fucked inside like a human being. Instead of you, like, I mean, unless you're in, like, you don't sound like you're in high school or anything. But, yeah, I don't know. I think he's got to keep the record. What's your perspective here, Paris?
I think he absolutely should go back and do it again. Definitely.
Yes. And look, if it doesn't work out, fine. If she says fuck off, but you at least gave it an honest try, and that's what's important here.
I think he just needs to go in and eat her pussy and understand that every pussy is different.
Yeah, sure.
So you can't eat this pussy like the last pussy.
Right,
because
absolutely.
maybe that's what interfered.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think for him it was more, he gave more of a, because they were fucked in the backseat of a car, so it was more of a space issue, it sounds like.
That's a better angle.
Yeah.
It's intimate, intense, and it's direct, actually.
You're right. No, you're right. You hear that? You hear that? You're making excuses. That's coming from someone whose whole financial situation has been ruined because she started eating pussy. So if there's an expert, it's her. So you fucked up. You should have eaten pussy in that Camry, and now you owe it to this woman and yourself to make up for it.
100%.
Hit us with another one, Big Eld. What do we got here?
Stavvy, Eldis, thanks for having me. I'm currently going through a friendship breakup, and I would love your guys' input. I went on a 6-month backpacking trip with my girl, and the night before we left, my friend got real drunk and was being very rude and disrespectful. He was saying things to my girl like, "I'm so sick of you. You're taking my friend away.
Oh my God.
I wish you never came around." And then I got in his face. I was like, "Dude, you're being an asshole. Don't be so fucking rude. Fuck you." And I left, and we kind of left it on that note. Then while I was on the trip, he was texting me every day, like, "Oh, bro, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry."
What a fucking loser.
Fast forward, I ended up breaking up with the chick, and then I decided, hey, fuck it. I won't hold a grudge. I'm going to forgive this guy. So I come home after a while. I meet up with the guy, and he sits me down, and he says, "Oh, by the way, I was never even sorry. I'm really proud of what I did. I'm
really proud.
And I think it's important that I speak my truth." And it blew me away because I realized, oh, man, this guy was just giving me lip service the whole time. And he's delusional. I felt like he's delusional if he thinks that getting hammered drunk and bowling my girlfriend was like some therapy-induced version of him standing up for himself. So I got heated, and I haven't spoken to him since. And, we got a lot of mutual friends, and they all want me to squash the beef and move forward. And he's been reaching out to me a bunch, but I don't know if I should forgive him or not. And I would love you guys' input. All right, much love. Thanks, guys.
Crazy.
Insane.
Truly fucking insane. I mean, this guy, he sounds young, right? So, like, here's my read on the situation. This guy, they're, like, fresh out of college, it sounds like. He says he's going, what do you say, a backpacking trip? Mm-hmm. So that's kind of like that's like an early 20s move, I feel like. A backpacking across Europe type thing. That's not something you do, like, when you're really an adult. That's what you do. You know what I mean? Like, you do that shit right before life starts. So this kid they're probably immature, right? Mm-hmm. And he's going through this, like, I think this also is a thing that does happen when people have, like, different levels of maturity, where it's like, this kid is his friend that, like, said, yelling at this woman, at the girl he's dating, is like, that's so pathetic and lame. Right. To be like, look, we've all had those feelings of when you transition out of childhood, when you're like best friends, the most important people in your life are your same-sex best friends. If you're a heterosexual, you know what I mean, or whoever your best friends are. But like your boys matter to you so much from the age of like 14 to like 22. Mm-hmm. And then there's always the first person in the friend group that gets a girlfriend, and like he makes the jump. And to him, his partner is more important than his boys for the first, he's felt, you know, and the other guys haven't had that feeling yet.
Right.
And they don't understand that that's how life works. And they take it personal. Mm-hmm. Clearly, that's what this fucking guy did, right? He's taking this shit personally. But to react that way, to yell at the girl when you're drunk, in a way that, not to be stereotypical here, seems like you are a gay guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, really?
How dare you take my friend away? Like, this feels like that's something that a guy that's in love with you does. Now, I don't think that's really what's going on here. I think he's probably just a fucking idiot. But for them to be like, so the first move is crazy.
Right.
It's so pathetic and weird to do that. But then to be like, I was never sorry after all.
That's where I'm confused at.
That's actually the part that makes me feel like he's gay more than anything. That's like how a gay guy on a Bravo show, you know, like behaves. And by the way, I was faking it the whole time. Like, that's crazy. Why would you even say that? Even if you were lying,
right?
Now that you got what you want, now you also have to be like, oh, and by the way, I didn't. So this guy seems like he's fucking all over the place, like he's out of control. Like, I don't know. And also, I have a bunch of friends that want me to squash the beef. All of this feels like right after college.
It does.
Because you know how many like college friend groups, like there's a guy that you realize is a fucking idiot when you don't get. There's always the classic guys from college. Like the one guy who was the funnest guy in college, you're 25. He's actually, it turns out he's an alcoholic, actually. Like, that's why he was so fun in college, is because he just got fucked. He was always the guy getting fucked up. You're like, I'm going to go hang out with Frank. Frank's always fucking drunk. And then it's like, dude, Frank keeps getting fired. He owes so much child support. Like, he just gets drunk all the time. This feels a little like, I think this feels a little bit like you shed people from college, and you shed people at every point in your life. You grow, you become a different person, and you realize like, oh yeah, guys that I really liked or people that I really liked in my life, I don't need them anymore, or they're weird, or they're like, their issues don't come up until you have real life stresses, or,
right.
You know, and even if it's not anything bad, you could just grow apart from someone. This guy just feels like kind of an asshole, and it feels like you have to think like, do I want this person in my life? Is this friend group that important to me? Do I want if they fuck with this guy this hard, right. Do I want them in my life? And if the answer is yes, or you could be like, look, we can be friends, but we have to really talk this out. Like, what you said was unacceptable, mm-hmm. And then you claiming you weren't sorry is really fucking weird, because take away whatever you did, now you're just being disingenuous to me. Right. You know what I mean? Like, that in and of itself is a big issue. So I think if you wanted to, you could have one more conversation with this guy and give him the opportunity to actually truly apologize, and give him one more shot. And then if he ever acts like this again, you could just be like, never mind, fuck you. You don't have to, though. You could certainly just cut this guy off. And my hunch is, if you have this heart-to-heart with this guy, he's going to end up doing this kind of fuck shit anyway. It's just going to be 6 months later, a year later, whatever the fuck. So, but that's my perspective. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I think you have to set boundaries. And I feel like, is he still with the girlfriend?
No, he broke up with her.
He broke up with the girlfriend.
So the girl's not even really an issue anymore. The issue is just
him as a person.
Him behaving like this as a friend, right? I don't know. Have you had any big friend breakups?
I think sometimes people just grow apart.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like personal. Yeah. It doesn't even have to get to this point. But if it gets to this point, I feel like you can give it time, and if it comes back around, but I think the other friend saying they should squash it, he didn't do this to the other friend.
Right.
So it's like, you can't tell me how to feel when he did this to me.
Absolutely.
But he seems repetitive. So I feel like even if you give it another chance, just set boundaries and know it may or may not happen again. Yeah. But don't be shocked if it does.
That's a good point. Yeah. If you want him back in your life, don't be shocked if he behaves this fucking stupid. Right. And then also, if that's grounds for being like, all right, man, I gave you a shot. You keep acting like this. Get the fuck out. That's fine too. But yeah, there's also a good middle ground of like, have him in your life, but understand who he is. Right. Which I have problems with. I love cutting people off. I don't want to understand. It's like, either we just Can we please be on the same page? I don't want to have to deal with anything fucking annoying. I've definitely been the driving force in like Eldis and other friends where it's like people being annoying from college and I'm like, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Don't speak to him. He sucks. That's definitely my thing. I don't know. Have you had any big ones, Eldis? Have you had any like big anyone's you can think of or
not really. I've had like one big cutoff, but I kind of squashed it after a while too.
Yeah.
Cuz it's like who cares?
At a certain point it really is who cares when you're like it's 10 years after the thing that made you mad.
It just feels weird to like not speak to someone at all who you're like so close with. But you know, I don't know.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I feel like fuck them. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
I feel like when you like cut someone off and just like cold ice them, like no heads up, no nothing. It's like it's not good to like carry that around.
Certainly,
especially if you do have like mutual friends. At the very least, it like requires like a conversation or something. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. But that in this situation, our friend is not. He didn't cold cut him off. There's clearly multiple reasons here. Right. So
yeah, totally.
So you're fine either way, buddy. We gave you a couple options here, and it's whatever feels right to you. We have we're kind of this beautiful. I'm the most extreme. Paris is kind of in the middle, and Eldis is nice. You can have, it's like we have.
I'm all for cutting people off, but it sounds like he cares about it.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you care, I feel like you have to accept, the older you get, I feel like you have to accept people for who they are.
Yeah.
And with that, you have to set boundaries because clearly they're not similar.
Right. No, that's a good point. And setting boundaries is something I fucking only realized like 3 years ago. Like I would just be pissed off at someone, you know what I mean? It's like, it's so helpful and it's so nice to just be like, this is acceptable. You can just do this and you cannot do this. And then if someone crosses that shit, then you know that, they're being assholes or they're being manipulative or whatever the fuck. Hit us with another one, Big Eldis.
Stavvy, baby. So fun seeing you this past week in LA. Great show.
Thank you.
So my question today is, I'm 30 now. I'm wanting to explore, and I'm a little curious as far as sexual experiences, and I want to, go to some play parties, like see what it's about, maybe bring some more people into the mix. And it's been my experience before that, like, waiting too long to ask, a boyfriend or a partner to join me for this kind of thing, it can backfire. So now I'm bringing it up a little bit earlier when I'm dating. And my overwhelmingly response has been men that their egos kind of just crumble in front of me, when I throw that idea out there. And of course I do kind of get off on that. However, the goal is I do want to find a guy that really just loves watching another guy fuck me in front of him.
Okay,
and then, has his way with me too. So what should I do? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? What do you think, Stavvy? Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Well, look, let's not get crazy here. You're asking a guy you're dating to let you fuck a guy while he watches, and him having a negative opinion, I wouldn't exactly categorize that as his ego crumbling. I think he's got a pretty nice point, being like, that sounds actually like it sucks. So let's take a little bit of the judgment away from that, call him crazy, but most guys don't really want to watch their wife get fucked by some guy. So, but also no judgment to them, but no judgment to you either. You know what you like, you want something. And I think what you're doing right is having these conversations earlier, because here's the thing. There are people out there that are into this. I have friends who are super open, who are they literally want this kind of thing, and they want it as part of they want their partner to watch them fuck other people, and they want to fuck people together, and it's all, people are out there. Is it a smaller percentage than are the guys that are not that pumped more of the people? Yes, there are more guys that don't want to watch their wife get fucked than do. But they're still out there. So what you're doing right, you just got to bring this up early. You're in LA. There's a bunch of fucking freaks out there. Isn't there fucking, what's that, Field? We've talked about this. I haven't been on it, but I have friends who are, I got to get on there. It seems like it's pretty easy to get pussy on that app. But
what is it?
Field, it's like an app. It's kind of especially for this, like for open, for like
a kink app.
Okay.
A kink Tinder, basically.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So that, that exists. Yeah, so I think that's what you're doing right. And look, you definitely don't want to have someone who thinks he's in a completely different relationship, and then 2 years in, he's like, hey, his girlfriend's like, hey, how about I fuck some guy? And not only that, but you have to be there. Like, you understand, it's enough of an ask to be like, can I fuck another guy? But, oh, by the way, would you mind watching? You're really kind of, that's a hard one. I can say for me, look, I'm no prude. I'm not interested in seeing my wife get fucked in front of me. What can I say? That's just the kind of guy I am. Would I think it's cool? And even like, because I've dated people who are into like, they want to go to sex parties, want to do this shit, but it's like, look, that's not me. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's like, for me, I'm just like, so like, I don't know, maybe it's also because like as a performer, as like somebody whose life you're being observed at all times, I'm like, can I have one thing that's mine? Like I have to worry about bombing while I fuck. Like I don't want that, yes. Right? Like I really don't want that. And like so I think you definitely can find those guys out there. Just be very forthright about it, and like go to these maybe you meet people at this party. Go on that app. Mm-hmm. I know for a fact there's people into this kind of shit in LA big time. So yeah, this is just trying to Trojan horse someone into getting cucked is not the way to do it. Don't fucking be in a regular relationship and then be like, hey, would you mind if I cuck you afterwards? Find someone who's into that kind of thing straight up would be my advice.
I agree.
Yeah. Kind of wild to but yeah, that's not my Eldis, would you ever no. Not get cucked? Definitely you couldn't handle that, but would you go to like a sex party?
No, I don't think so. maybe to walk around, yeah. But just see it in person.
Observe it.
Because some of those, when you see them on shows or something, it is like, some people are getting their cock sucked in the hot tub with a bunch of people hanging around, but
yeah.
Some people are just eating finger sandwiches and having a nice glass of Prosecco by the pool. So it does seem weirdly very open sexually, but also like, hey, you don't have to fuck. You can just chill out and talk about your job with some weird married couple.
Yeah, that's true. Have you ever been to any of those?
I haven't been. I think I want to start going, not to have sex, just to observe.
Yeah, just to observe.
Just to do shrooms and look around. I'll be like the person that get people started on sex, then I just walk off.
That sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Yeah. Shrooms at an orgy is a hilarious move. You know what I mean? Who knows how those shits hit you? But that's true. I have a friend who she was talking about there's a sex club in somewhere in Canada, mm-hmm. And she talks about it. She was telling me how like her and her friends go because like it's cheaper for girls to go because every sex club shockingly needs more women. But she was saying how they had a pool and that like it's actually the cheapest pool you have access to in her city. So they pay like either it's free for women to get in or it's some nominal charge, and her friends just go sit by the pool topless, don't fuck anyone, just kind of have a nice time by the pool. And it's like and they're open. Like this friend of mine's in an open relationship, so she's not a prude either, but you can absolutely just go and just chill at the sex club. But that's my advice to you, my freaky, sultry voiced friend.
Hi, Stavvy. I'm a big fan of the show. I watch every single episode. So,
nice. Thank you.
I got out of a relationship 5 months ago after a year. It was a very toxic, crazy, insane relationship. The guy ended up like going through psychosis because he was on drugs all the time, and he would accuse me of things that I haven't done, besides everything else that he'd done. Anyway, I broke up with him 5 months ago, and it's been 2 months that I'm seeing this other guy. He's a very sweet, loving, caring guy. At least I think he is. But I have this fear that what if, because my last relationship was so bad, that I feel like he's good, he's nice, because he's not that crazy or he's not like bad. What if like I'm just settling for something that is just not crazy? I don't know. I don't really have a good reference for what a good relationship is, and I'm really scared. So help me, tell me what would a good guy does that shows that he actually cares about someone. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, damn. You got your head all fucked up in that last relationship for sure. That's tough. I don't know. Have you had any real fucked up relationships that like just kind of like did a little damage?
I think as far as trust, but never to the point where I'm like, well, the next relationship.
Right.
I don't put what problems I went through in one thing on another thing.
Yeah.
I feel like it's something, it comes from healing though.
Yeah,
I think
true.
after a deep, bad, toxic relationship, you have to heal from it so you won't carry the baggage to the next relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, that's key. And I think the number one thing I'm picking up from this call is that she hasn't healed, right? Like
Right.
she's clearly got fucked up by this thing, and that it was 2 months ago, and maybe the answer is you're just not ready to date anyone seriously because maybe a little bit of, you still need some time to recover. I mean, if it was that bad a relationship, I don't know if you're in therapy, but it sounds like therapy might be useful for you because you're talking about your baseline's all fucked up. You don't even know if someone, you can't trust. It's clear that you got so fucked up in that last relationship that you can't even trust that someone being nice to you doesn't have ulterior motives or isn't doing it in a manipulative way, right? Like that's what I'm getting here is that she's A, worried that this could be another weird toxic relationship, or she's also worried that it's not good enough, which is a little weird on its own. Like if you're happy and things are feeling good, then why always look for the thing? That's
Right.
a big problem I have in relationship is that I always kind of look for the problem, and that's something I'm tried to work on and just try to, like, when I'm happy in a relationship, don't think about potential issues, just have a good time until a real issue happens and then deal with it when it shows up. So it sounds like you need a little bit of time to just kind of think about this stuff and reset a little bit. My advice would be if you were in something that feels like a good relationship and you don't just want to break up with this person because someone on a podcast said you need some time to heal, which is very valid, right? If you don't want to break up with them, then just go about don't get ahead of yourself. But the moment you feel a real problem, definitely act on it or break up or whatever you want to do. But until then, if this person is nice and it feels good, I wouldn't worry about settling or something just because your last relationship was so bad. Just feel how you feel. It's like you're so worried about being manipulated by that last person that you're worried that he's continuing to manipulate you by giving you such a fucked up relationship that you'll end up in a worse one. So to me, it does sound like maybe you need to kind of take some time for yourself, heal, go to therapy, talk this through. It sounds like there's some major issues with your last relationship, and maybe you're not ready, but if you don't feel like, and I'm not saying you should end this relationship, but you could still work on those problems while you're in a different relationship. But to me, I'm a big therapy advocate here on this show, and this feels like the kind of thing therapy can help with, in my opinion.
I agree.
Relationship stuff, it kind of helps, I think, the most with those, and maybe family stuff in my experience anyway.
I agree, and I think take it slow. Just no expectations.
Totally,
Just coming in, just taking it slow, taking it for what it is.
Spending time with someone, enjoying it. But yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eldis, what about you? You ever had a fucked up relationship that?
Nothing crazy. Just a little, early 20s dysfunctional a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Nothing wild.
Nothing wild. Nobody fucking keyed your car.
No. I'm not even getting it.
Eldis isn't being forthright, folks. Mr. Sula's not being honest with you, not like your friend Stavros and Paris. But all right, we'll move on. We'll move on.
Hey, Stav. Hey, Eldis. Big fan of the show. I'm calling in because for the past 2 years, I've been working for my two best friends doing music, audio, work stuff, and some other creative design shit for them. And it's been a really, comfortable job. I make a decent living, but it's extremely unfulfilling, as my friends sort of, dictate everything in a very autocratic way. I have very little creative input on what I do and feel like I've been burned and undermined in several ways during the job. So, and I even moved to a new city for this, and I've been miserable the whole time. And I finally decided I'm going to move back to LA, which they're pretty much cool with. I'm turning 31. This made me think about what I want to do long term with my life, and thinking about going freelance for music, audio, visual design stuff. And, I look at you and see the successful independent artist. And I know how hard that is. My brother's an independent artist. But at least I could be in control of my own life instead of living someone else's dream. I've got $100K in the bank, equity from this company I've been working for. I feel like it makes sense to take the risk and do my own thing, but I could be making a mistake leaving a safe job and maybe pissing my friends off. So sorry if I'm giving Eldis any big ideas, but I love you guys. All right, bye.
Eldis, delete this right now.
I called in with a voice modifier.
Can I just say, it's disgusting how disloyal you are to your friend working hard. Giving you $100K in the bank, wanting to bite the hand that feeds you. No, Eldis knows he's fucked. What is he gonna do? What is he gonna do? Cut clips for Matt Rife? I'd love to see you try, motherfucker. Go ahead, Eldis. Get some big ideas from this guy. Eldis just starts hitting up every fucking TikTok comedian. It's like, I have some experience with Stavvy. I don't know if you've seen his page. I'd love to create some crowd work content for you.
My portfolio is clips of you talking to people about eating their wife's pussy.
Here's my resume.
With typos in the captions and shit.
Here's my resume. It's my fat friend accusing 4 guys in Atlanta of being gay with each other. No, but yeah, I mean, this is the classic. I think this is a classic dilemma of safety and a good living, or a risk and not having any regrets. Now, look, clearly you called into the show, and I squarely always am on the side of give it a shot. You can always find a regular ass job. You can always try. You can always go back to that. Maybe not with your friends, right? Maybe you burn that bridge at that company. But also, I don't think you'd piss them off if you were like, "Hey guys, I've been working here for a while and I want to do my own thing." Right. If your friends get pissed off at that, they're not your friends to begin with.
Absolutely.
Now, it might be a little difficult. There might be some tension in the workplace. There might be, especially if you help them transition you out. I don't see any issue long term if they're really your friends. Me and the kinds of people I have on the show, for the most part, we're all people who did take that risk and who couldn't imagine having a regular ass job.
Right.
Which is definitely how I feel. And I think you owe it to yourself to give it a try. You have a little money saved up. Now, you need a plan. Don't get me wrong. Did he scroll down those? Did he say what? He just wants to be freelance right now, basically? And think about going freelance for audio, music, audio, visual design stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, dude, look, you got to have a plan. You know the industry. You've been working in it for a while. you have to be realistic with yourself. It's one thing to be like, I can't stand taking orders and I can't stand having no artistic control. I'm just going to fucking quit and I'm just going to put, I'm going to make my money. How are you going to do it? Where are you freelancing? Could you kind of start freelancing while you still have the job? Could you work? What a lot of people do, like we all had day jobs I had day jobs when I started stand up. I worked nights and I did my passion nights and weekends. Could you do that? Could you really, could you just start the way everybody starts their side as a side hustle and then, test the waters, grow it out, see if you can expand the business. But I'm always in favor of doing that. My little brother, a good example is like my little brother is a trainer at a gym, and he was working. He was making good money in his industry, but he wanted to start his own thing. And I was like, fuck it, let's do it. I went into business with him, and because like there's nothing more exciting for me than like seeing somebody get an opportunity to do that. And that's such a fucked up thing in America where it's like so few people have the expendable income to start their own thing or to start a new business. Like the proudest I've been in my career with anything I've done is helping my brother start his business, because he was really talented, but because before I got lucky and made a little money in comedy, he wouldn't have had a way to do that. A rich guy would have just had him by the balls, and he would have just had to fucking work for him forever. Sounds like you've got the opportunity to kind of at least give it a shot. And here's the other thing. If you give it a shot and it doesn't work out, you will never wonder. The wonder will kill you. Absolutely. Being a fucking old guy and being like, what if I gave it why didn't I ever do it? Could I have done it? That's what kills you. Knowing you failed, knowing you didn't have what it takes, honestly, that's not bad. You gave it a shot. That's a worthwhile pursuit. And you're like, yeah, I tried. I was pretty good, but not good enough. This is better for me, and I do my own shit on the weekends if I feel like it. It will always be what eats you away will be like wondering if it could have happened. So you go, you give it a shot, it doesn't work out, not the end of the world, but staying where you're clearly unhappy, that's not helping you either. But, do it slow, make sure you have a plan, start it as a side hustle, and then see if it can grow into your own thing. And also, I would also say make sure you're not unhappy about something else. Because a lot of people can blame their jobs about shit, but maybe the rest of your life fucking sucks dick too. You know what I mean? Like, maybe like, I mean, you said you didn't like the city you were in. Moving back to LA is big. Will that improve your happiness? Are you in a bad relationship? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of factors. Because look, the other thing is a lot of people are just kind of happy in a regular ass job. Mm-hmm. It's also very stressful to do your own thing. Like, it's like sometimes you have a ton of money, sometimes you have negative money, you don't know when the next thing's coming. Like, as much as I value freedom, some people I value freedom and I'm okay in high stress environments, and some people just aren't. And sometimes it's like that's a lot of pressure to deliver, especially so especially if you have projects that are fully up to you, or people, Albanian mouths to feed. What happens if I don't sell tickets? This fucking guy's on the street. You know what I mean? Not everyone can deal with that kind of pressure. So there's pros and cons. There's pros and cons to everything, but you have to. I think it sounds like you owe it to yourself to give it a little shot here. It's kind of how I see the thing.
Yeah, at least try.
Yeah.
At least that's the least you can do.
Give it a shot for a year or two. Did you ever have were you ever thinking all right, I'll see what happens? Did you have if I don't make it by this, or if I'm not doing it by this, did you have any kind of backups or anything like that? Or
I didn't have backups, but I always was like, the least I can do is try. Yeah. Because when you try, then you can figure out where you went wrong. Right. At least if you went wrong, but it's like you don't regret it later. At least you sit back on it, win or lost, and at least I did it. Of course, yeah. And I don't know if you feel this way, but I remember, I just kind of I was 19 doing open mics, and then I blinked and I was 33. You know what I mean? Where it's like, well, I don't have any fucking choice now. You can't turn back. I feel like once you get so comfortable with being independent, it's kind of hard to go back under someone's rules. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. It would take a real big payday for us to fucking... And even then, will we really still be happy? Yeah. For the moment, maybe. Yeah. It would have to be so much money that you would have to have an annoying few years and then could retire. You know what I mean? Right.
But yeah.
Just try.
Just give it a shot. What do you think, Eldis?
Yeah, do it. Especially if he's doing what he's doing, like audio. What do you say? Audio visual shit. Like, yeah, move to LA and fucking do that shit. He'll fucking fall into so many jobs out there doing that shit. No problem, probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's scary, but I mean, I feel like starting a company with your friends is also scary.
True.
I know when I quit my job and started working with you, the night before I quit, like I was at like my girlfriend's parents' house, and I like couldn't sleep the night before. I was just nervous because I just had a job out of college.
Yeah.
And my like legs were literally wobbly. I was like looking at myself in the bathroom mirror. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? What am I doing?
I had to drag this motherfucker kicking and screaming. I had to already be rich, successful. He took no risks ever. He just got lucky I didn't want to work with a stranger. And he was still sweating. See, Eldis could never handle it. You know what I mean? Like,
but yeah, fucking do it.
Yeah, dude.
You're gonna if you're not happy what you're doing, like, just do it. It'll be fine with your friends. They'll understand, unless they're dickheads.
And if they don't, they're dickheads.
Yeah.
Let's do one more call. But before we do, let's get you to plug some stuff, Paris. You're going on tour.
Going on tour.
You know?
Toxic masculinity tour. Bringing the honesty that these women need. You knew what you was getting into, baby.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Follow me.
Yeah, where can they find you?
At Paris Sashay, PARISSASHAY. The tickets are on my website, official ParisSashay.com. On my Instagram. Yeah.
Hell yeah, great. Go see Paris live. Yeah, you're gonna love it. She's coming all over the place. Nice big fall tour for her. We're also on tour, Stavvy.biz for tickets. You know that by now. And but yeah, follow Paris, see her live, support everybody you see on the show. We only bring our friends here at Stavvy's World. Only people we vouch for. All right, I'll just play us off with one nice final call here.
We might have just a call for you here, Paris.
Let's do it.
Hey, Stavvy. You are one of my favorite people. I love your perspective. I love your vibe. I would love to know your perspective or advice on something that's been just like really weighing on me for the past month. And it's like, I don't know how to put this, but it's like, I feel like it's very normal in American culture for men to just like really fixate on like really, really young women. Like the closer to 18, the better.
You're part of the problem,
so
Paris.
Gross to me, dude. And like, I don't know, lately it's hard for me to not see it all around me. And like, I just feel like I live in this culture where like low key, like pedophilia and like pedophilic type thoughts are really normalized. And I don't know, this has been, as a woman, just like watching men engage with me through this lens all the time has been very hard and uncomfortable. And I'm like wanting to not hate men, but sometimes it's hard. How do I not hate men in this world?
Sure.
Stavvy, help a girl out. You might be the only one for the job right now. Thank you. Love you.
Thank you.
Mwah.
Yes. Hey, look, why don't you tell us, as an 18-year-old who's dating grown men, why don't you provide that perspective, Paris? And then I'll provide mine.
Oh, first of all, she said, how does she not hate men in this world? As a lesbian, it's easy to not hate them and just not deal with them. It's not that hard. But, so the problem is that she's upset that men are dating women closer to 18.
Yeah, like young girls, young women.
But at least they're 18.
At least they're 18,
At least
yes.
they're 18.
Yes.
But I think that older men date younger women because they don't have to mature by dating younger women.
Yes.
When you date older women, you have to mature.
Sure.
So
less stakes.
Right. They don't want to grow up. Then they just go to what's impressive. An 18-year-old is impressed by a lot. She doesn't know anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, your instincts to like, yeah, there's two things, right? Like you said, at least they're 18. And at a certain point, it's like, you just gotta be like, if it's legal, and at a certain point, you just gotta make a cutoff and be like, look, that's not how I'd operate, but but it's like, fine, do your own thing, right? Like the way people behave, people do a lot of shit that, you know, I don't approve of, right? But it's like, I'm not gonna let it get all worked up about it. But what you just said is absolutely right, where it's like, yeah, it's easier to date somebody younger. And so for you to think like, you know, to find that behavior annoying or, you know, not approve of it, certainly that's very reasonable for you to feel that way. But it's also, you know, not to do hashtag not all men, but it's like, you know, like don't deal with the ones that date, you know, 18, 20, whatever year olds, right? That's not your cup of tea. Fine, fuck those guys. There's plenty of other people that, you know, unless I don't understand it. You're not around that age and are mad that old guys are hitting on you, right? It's like
I was thinking that at first, but I didn't want to say that. I don't know.
It doesn't seem like that, really. I mean, I think she did mention something a little at the end about like she just looks at every interaction with men through this lens,
right?
But I think she's just like, this is a more abstract, like she's just like frustrated with youth obsessed, borderline, pedophilic, like,
which I get the frustration, culture. Right? That's absolutely, you know. But also, it's like on the flip side of Paris is like, you know, sometimes people are adults, consenting adults, and some 18-year-olds want to date older men, right? Like you had Paris trying to pay her Cricket wireless bill.
That's right. Listen, you know? I had to help with those bills. Couldn't date a 10th grader. He doesn't have any money, but his dad does, and we needed his dad's help.
All right, not 10th grade. Let's actually
I'm joking.
Let's say senior year.
Yeah. But it's special ed though. You could be 18 in 10th grade. They don't kick you out of special ed until you're 24.
But yeah, it's like, so on some level, it's like, look, there's guys who are gonna want to fuck these women. There's these women who are looking for an older guy, whatever. And I get feeling like it's unseemly, right? But at the end of the day, it's like, if both these people want that and no one's really hurting anyone. Now, that's not to say that a lot of these, a nice chunk of these relationships aren't weird and there isn't some kind of, you know, quasi-abusive situation going there, but some of them there aren't. And at a certain point, you just got to be like, that's fucking weird. I don't want any part of it. But it's like the way I look at Burning Man. It's like, hey, that's fucked up. I want nothing to do with that. I'm not hanging out with those fucking guys. No, thank you. But, you know, do whatever the fuck you want in the desert. I think you kind of have to look at it the same way. But I mean, you know, you're not wrong in the frustration. Just look for people that, you know, look for people that you don't. It's also like, what are you gaining out of fixating on this? It's just it's just like personal negativity that you're just mad about an abstract bad thing in the world. And look, the reality is there's a lot of abstract bad shit in the world. So much. So you can't just be thinking of one. Now, it'd be a different thing if like you or your little sister or someone was getting like, you know, felt like somebody close to you was in one of these weird relationships that you didn't approve of. That's different. But to let anything in the abstract bother you this much, I don't know. If we were picking abstract things to worry about, there's much shittier things. There's you know, people getting really fucked. You know, there's genocides and shit that we don't even cover. You know, there's so much shit that like, just treat it like it's something you fucking hate and just don't deal with it. And understand that in some cases it's like both these people want this, and even though you don't approve, hey, whatever. You know, it's their lives, and you know, it's maybe and some of these are sad, but what are you gonna do? You know, you can't just be getting pissed off about everything that sucks in the world. But you know, your feelings are understandable, but just don't let it just bum you out in perpetuity.
And just don't date the guys that date them.
Yeah.
It's a lot of grown men that only date grown women. It's okay. Just
exactly.
Find them. Date them.
Find them. Those are your guys. Do we have like a short, fun one to go out on, or are we doing this one where this woman sounds really depressed?
Do we want an update?
Sure, let's do an update, and then we'll say goodbye to our friends here this week.
Hey, Stav, big fan, long-time listener, first-time caller. Greetings to you and Eldis and the esteemed guest. I was just listening to the episode with Caitlin Palufo on your Patreon, and somebody called in and asked where to meet hot, chubby goth chicks, and you left out one crucial piece of advice: burlesque shows. I know so many hot, chubby goth girls that either do or go to burlesque shows. And I don't know, man. I think you need to throw that out there and give that little piece of advice to any of your fans that also want to bag themselves a hot, chubby goth chick. So, love the show. Can't wait to see you in Philly in November. Can't wait to see you in Philly in November. All right, have a good one. Bye.
All right. Thank you for calling in. On Kaylin's episode last week, a caller asked where to find chubby goth. Not the transcription says golf, but goth chicks. And, you know, burlesque is a good route, actually. I never thought of that. You know, get in there. You do, you know, you can definitely find some, but I don't know if they're the exact type of goth girl he wants. These feel like theater goth girls, not burlesque anyway, not like dangerous, you know what I mean?
I feel like burlesque is a little bit like roller derby girl like territory.
But there is a big overlap, though.
Yeah,
there is.
Yeah.
Actually, the roller derby's not bad either, Eldis. Did we say roller derby last
We
time?
may have said it. I don't know.
So, yeah, burlesque works, but absolutely. It's certainly a type of, it's maybe a softer goth girl. Not as dangerous, not into as much like, you know, Halloween shit.
I think she is right there. There probably is like a lot of overlap.
Plenty of overlap,
yeah.
and you're right. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you for being a Patreon member, and thank you for buying tickets to the Met in Philadelphia. We'll be there in November. Just added a second show, folks. Go buy your fucking ticks. But that's going to do it for us. Paris, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Such a fun
So
episode.
fun.
Yeah. Go see Paris live, and we will be back soon with another episode, guys. I believe, yeah, I won't say who it is. We don't know the order yet, but we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.